Singapore is renowned for the best quality of life in Asia. Add that to a low-tax environment, minimal red tape and a multilingual workforce, and it sounds like the ideal place to set up operations and do business. I spoke to Peter Allen of Grant Thornton Singapore and asked him if his clients focus on the Singapore market or use it as a launchpad into Southeast Asia.
This is a very small market. It's not a cheap market, particularly a lot of expatriate goods are expensive. So relatively few of our clients certainly come in here for the Singaporean market. They're usually coming here as an entry point to the region as a whole.
With globalisation now, many businesses can go direct to Vietnam or Indonesia. So what sort of business would actually set up in Singapore as a hub for other markets in the region?
I think a lot of businesses choose Singapore because they have not yet decided what the balance of their portfolio in the rest of the region is going to be. I think if you already know that you are going to do business in Vietnam and you're only going to do business in Vietnam, then it makes limited sense, frankly, to do it through a Singapore operation or a Singapore hub. But most businesses aren't in that situation, in our experience. Most businesses know they want to be in this region, and they see this as a natural place from which to start that process of investigation and development.
What are the major challenges facing businesses setting up here in Singapore?
I think the one that I would encourage people to look at is cost and pricing. Singapore is an interesting market from a pricing point of view. Some things are very cheap, think taxis. Some things are very expensive, think gin. And you need to think about that, and depending on your business, you need to think about that in the context of pricing differentials with what you're used to.
A lot of people say that Singapore is a low tax environment. How low are we talking here?
My effective tax rate is 15.7%, which compared with London, which is where I've just come from, is pretty low. Corporation tax rate's around 17%. GST is at 7%. So it is a low tax environment, and as well as being a low tax environment, it's a very simple tax code. It's a very advantageous tax environment for any business.
Singapore's a very mature market, successful OECD-style economy. What sort of new hot sectors have you seen?
It's got a very lively tech sector, a lot of start-up activity. There are considerable tax breaks, even within the low tax environment, for financing tech start-ups. The government's very keen on making Singapore a smart city in which to operate. So tech, definitely.